Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's Alex, and today we got a new setup in here. So yeah, I just like having this iPad here as a nice metal surface for me to work on when I go to these videos. We're gonna need a 00 Phillips and a Y00 tri-point screwdriver. We're gonna need a pair of tweezers, a guitar pick, and a spudger. There's gonna be 4 screws here that you gotta unscrew.
Track of these screws, you don't really want to lose these. So it looks like you have to open it up like this, but we're going to open it up like this, because this is the way it's meant to go.
Well, now, we're just going to get it open. You're going to take your little doodler here. You're going to get it in there and slide it around. Yours is going to come off a little bit different than mine, because this one's already been opened a lot. Now, next thing we got to do is we got to get this connector up here, which is the battery connector. So what we're first going to do is we're going to get this under here and where the battery connector is, and we're just going to lift up and out. Now we're going to take this and we're going to lever in one of these sides, and we're just going to pull. Now the next thing we need to unscrew these 3 screws here. And now, because it's Nintendo, when you get in, it's Phillips.
This is a magnetic driver. Some of you guys might not have a magnetic Phillips driver, so if you don't, you're going to have to kind of dump them out a little bit. Like, flip the whole kind of thing over like that, and it'll come out.
What you'd normally do is you'd unconnect this connector, which has barely any slack on it, but I found a new way to do it. So instead of doing that, so once this is up, you're going to flip it over without tearing it, like that. Now, that doesn't fall out. Neat. So now, we're going to unplug that connector there with our tweezers. It's going to be the only connector we need to unplug. Now that's flipped, so you're going to flip that upward, and you're going to pull this out. So now, we're going to unscrew these 2 screws here, and then the whole
thing will come out. This is a total mess, actually.
Now, we're going to carefully pull this up, so that we don't pull up this little gasket right here. Got a new one. This one's going to be turned blue, because that's my favorite color. Anti-static bag. This is meant for a Switch Lite, but they're cross-compatible. It looks just how I wanted it. So you're going to carefully push that through that hole, and it's in. Now, we got to put those screws back in. This is when we start putting things back in.
I'm not sure how this is going to look in front, because this is not the right joystick for this. And it's not that they didn't have it on their website. It's just because I like blue, and I want it to be blue. I like the colored buttons for this, too.
So now we're going to want to plug that connector back in with our tweezers. I hope that's in. Doesn't seem to in, actually. Well, we're going to see. So now we're going to flip this back over. Now, you don't have to do this, but I want to see how it looks. Yeah. That's the stuff. I like that. We've got to put these screws back in. Now we're going to take our battery that we unplugged already. Now we're just going to plug that back in. Now it's plugged back in. Now it's time for testing. So now, don't clip it back together yet. Don't. We got to make sure it works first. Let me go and get my other thing. Now, we got to let's make sure that joystick works. Okay, it works like that. Button works. Oh, right, you have to hold it like this. Maybe I didn't plug it in correct. Sleep. See, this is why we test first. So I don't think I plugged it in correct. I mean, it did look a little sus when I did see it. So, I'm just gonna do it lazy man style now. So we're just going to literally plug up, just undo connectors like caveman style. So now we got to try and see what's wrong with that connection. Because the first thing I do is I go straight for the connection when something like this happens. Either that or you're just going to recalibrate it. But I can tell because one of the directional D-pads weren't working. the first place I would go is the connection. This does get annoying when this does happen, though. Don't get me wrong. And something doesn't look right about that. Did I even press that thing down? I'm checking the connection. Something is just very wrong with this. Now, I'm gonna put this mid-frame back. We're not screwing it back together just yet, because now that we know that something's probably wrong, this is getting annoying, we're just gonna plug it straight back in like this, and hope we find the problem. Okay, so this usually happens. It probably just needs a recalibration. You see how it goes all the way now? So now we check. Woohoo, it works. Alright, now we just screw it back together. Alright, and then we're gonna be done with this part. This isn't good to be ripping up on this connector, but it's mine, so why should I care? I mean, obviously, if I'm working in a job, which is what my profession is going to be, obviously
I have to care a bit more about people's stuff. But this is mine, so why should I care? It's obviously going to be good practice. Okay, so this is advice for you guys that are watching. If you ever think about doing something like this in like a job or something, remember it would be good practice to do this correctly on your own stuff first and not just do it incorrectly, which would lead to you wanting to do something else bad.
Or maybe you can. But just doing this. And I'm just gonna say it's good, despite not tested it twice. Now, where did my other screwdriver? No. There's my other screwdriver. Now, these ones are not as magnetic as the others, so you just gotta re-screw them back in. So it wasn't the connection. See, now this is a good check if any of you want to do this. If y'all are following along. It's a good check, first thing. It's very expected. You can very much so expect to have to recalibrate it. If that's not the case, what I choose to do is go back inside of it. And then, so just go back in and check the connection. Like unplug and replug. And see if that fixes it. And if it doesn't, it usually needs a recalibration. And if a recalibration doesn't work, usually you can update your controller to do it. And if that somehow doesn't work, then the joystick might just be faulty and it might not work. And look, we're done. We did it. And I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And I'll see y'all later. Bye.